Hi guys, I just wanted to put my video on YouTube about Obamacare and why I believe that it should have been unconstitutional. And these are just my own personal beliefs. You may have a different opinion, and I really enjoy discussion. So if you would love to discuss this with me, just leave a comment. I'll make sure to respond. I know there's lots of different viewpoints out there, and in no way am I saying your viewpoint is wrong. I just wanted to put my own feelings and beliefs out there. So, today the Obamacare was deemed constitutional, and I just really think that was a terrible decision. I do not like Obamacare. I don't want Obamacare. I don't believe that it's my personal right to have health care, and that would be number one why I don't like Obamacare, is that it's not my personal right to have health care. I don't believe that I was born with that right, to have health care. I don't believe that other people's hard-earned money should pay for my health care. I don't believe that my hard-earned money should pay for other people's health care. If everything in the world is free, if health care is free, if the government will pay for your housing, that's socialism. And that is just going to make everyone, why would we work hard? Why would we ever do anything if the government is going to give it to you? Me, the same thing. Me, working so hard, is going to give me the same benefits as Susie over there, who just sits on her butt and has children all the time. And I know that some people, they do need to have the government help them out, and there are programs for that and everything, but I don't believe that the health care is one of the things that the government should help out everyone, blanket statement across the board. Maybe we need some type of program where people who are really hurting and that have broken arms and they can't pay their bills, they could get the government to help them out with those sorts of things. But they already have programs like that. I have a friend who broke her arm. She couldn't pay for it. The government or some kind of hospital type thing decided to pay a whole lot of her bill for her, and she was really happy about it. And there's all these other different programs out there. There's churches, there's friends and family, and there's many different ways that you can get help if you need help paying. You can get loans, you can get a job, And I'm not just saying that everyone who can't pay for their health care obviously needs to get a job, because that's not true either, and I know that. I have a job. I work at a call center. It is not a salary position. It's hourly, so I don't have health care through that or anything like that, but I do make a good amount of money, and I do save that money. And the second reason that I really think Obamacare is unconstitutional is that there's a big problem in America right now, that people think that they are owed things by people who are richer than themselves. Like the rich people need to pay more taxes, or the rich people, they owe us health care, or the government, the big man upstairs, he owes us health care and good housing and fresh water and good food and lots of Walmarts right down the street from us. And I'm just saying that those things aren't things that you are owed as a human individual. Those are privileges. It's a privilege that we have Walmart, it's a privilege that we can go to the doctor and get a shot for hepatitis. Those are things that are privileges. Those are not rights. We worked hard. Those doctors, they worked hard in school for 8 to 10 years to be able to even provide you with health care. I don't think we want to make that government substandard. I don't want a government doctor. I mean, I don't know what their qualifications would be, but I know what the qualifications are for doctors now. And I really like those qualifications. They work really hard, and they work long hours, especially nurses. They have to work overnight and everything like that. So that would be another reason that I really don't like Obamacare. It's not our right. I think that America is raising, I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones, but we're raising a whole generation of Joffreys. I really think we're raising a whole generation of selfish, egotistical, Snookies and Joffreys that just think everything is owed to them, and that's not the way our country was run or founded in the first place. We are not owed health care. We are not owed, anything. It's a privilege even to be alive. We are not owed life. We are not owed iPods. All of those things are privileges, and we need to start treating them like that. And once we start treating them like that, other people like that will stop saying, oh my gosh, you stepped on my foot, and you you're a part of the 1%. You must pay better taxes, and you're ruining our country. And we'll start looking at ourselves and saying, what can I do to help those that are poorer than I am? You know, I'm part of the 99%, so what can I do to help those who are even less down on the rung than I am, you know? Instead of saying, oh, that man up there, he needs to do something for me. And I think that's a lot of the problem today, and that's why Obamacare and all of this stuff, the 99% movement, is all happening, because we're so selfish. We're just looking out for what we think we deserve instead of what everyone else deserves. And there are a few other reasons that I don't believe in Obamacare, and those were really just the two biggest, and feel free to comment on them. Let me see. The other thing is that it's a requirement. And this is really weird because in America you're not required to do anything. You know, as long as you're not murdering somebody or raping somebody, you know what I mean. But you're not really required to have to perform some act or subscribe to some kind of thing, service in the government. So, I mean, that's in the Declaration of Independence. We have freedom of choice, and we have a free market. And Obamacare, even if you like it, it's still not a free market. You're going to be fined, and the fine increases. If you read the small print, the fine increases after a few years. I don't want to be fined if I don't want Obamacare. You know, even if it's okay and everyone likes it, I would like to be able to opt out of it if I don't wish. I shouldn't be fined for it. I mean, besides, even with being taxed for it, you know, I understand the taxes and everything. Even if you want to still be taxed for it and not have it, you're going to be fined for it. I don't really understand that at all. Okay. And then another thing I have a problem with it is that it's a part of the Affordable Care Act, which is part of the Obamacare, and it talks about the Independent Payment Advisory Panel, which is IPAB, which is going to be made up of 15 unelected officials appointed by the President to reduce Medicare spending. First of all, they're unelected, and they are appointed by the President. I think these people should be elected officials. You know, maybe there should be one for every state. No, so that would be a lot more than 15, of course. And they're going to reduce Medicare spending. If Obamacare is free, this is going to cause more Medicare spending. That's the way that I understand it. It will be the IPAB, and I'm reading this right out of there, will be tasked with and given the authority to reduce costs of the government by, among other things, limiting reimbursements to doctors. Doctors are not going to like that. They went to school for years and years and years. And this will lead, this is another website I'm reading, to more physicians leaving the Medicare system, reducing access to care for our seniors, and limiting available treatments. I'm going to put the link in there just in case anyone wants to see what I'm reading out of. But this isn't really the most frightening part, because any recommendations by the IPAB, which is unelected officials appointed by the President, will automatically become a law and a part of Obamacare. The only way around it becoming a law is for Washington bureaucrats, is for an act of Congress with the regular 3/5 supermajority in the Senate or anything. So, in other words, the unelected IPAB appointed by the President essentially becomes its own shadow legislative branch that we don't have, as the people, any control over. This is all people elected by the President. And I really don't agree with that. I think that's abusing the President's power. He should not have the power to put 15 people into office to start making laws about our own health care. Okay, and then something else I don't really like about Obamacare is that $1.76 trillion is going to have to come from American taxpayers to pay for Obamacare. This is a lot more than was forecasted when it first came out, the $940 billion. And that's just ridiculous. I mean, everything about this law, I don't like anything about it. Yes, we need to help people that are hurting, that need our help. We need to help people that, you know, are sick and can't pay their bills. You know, just think about it this way. If Obama came out with a law that stated that you had to opt in for air conditioning in your house, And everyone had to have air conditioning. And not only did you have to have air conditioning, but you had to pay for everyone else's air conditioning. If you didn't want air conditioning, you'd have to pay a fine. You wouldn't like that very much, would you? Because I definitely wouldn't. And I don't have air conditioning. I have a window unit. I guess that kind of counts as air conditioning, but and I'm perfectly happy with the amount of air conditioning that I have, and I don't think I require any more, and it's not a constitutional right, even though you can die of heat stroke and everything like that. So just tell me what you guys think is good about this law. I agree that we do need something to help people, that are hurting, that are in the hospital, but I don't think they don't turn you away if you're sick and dying and bleeding or you have cancer. They find a way to help you. I've never heard of anyone, not a single person, who was denied, being helped at a clinic or at a hospital when they had a life-threatening situation or any situation. They might have to wait for a while. Everyone has to wait, even if you have insurance, but I've never heard of anyone being turned away in America. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I really haven't. And those are really just my 2 cents. I hope you guys like it, and God bless.